This episode of the Opie Radio Podcast sponsored by HelloFresh. I love HelloFresh. You got to go to HelloFresh.com/12Opie. Use the code 12Opie for this. Ready? 12 free meals, including free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/12Opie. Use the code 12Opie.
All right, man. Good to see you. All right. I've been meaning to ask you a question. Have you ever considered getting back into real radio?
What is real radio?
I think this is it compared to anything else, man.
Of course, this is real radio. Yeah. That's really fun. You want to ask all the questions that I usually get asked?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. So we'll start with that.
Do you think you and Anthony will ever get back together?
I'm a little tired, brother. That's why the sunglasses. I got the vaccine yesterday.
All right, which one did you get?
I got the Pfizer.
All right, dude. That's what I got. And remember the last time I was on with you, it was it was Friday, not last Friday, Friday before.
Yeah.
And I had gotten it on Thursday.
Yes.
And I said it was just like my arm hurt pretty bad and I was tired for a few hours and that was it. Dude, it fucking went downhill the rest of like the next 5 days.
No, don't say that.
It might be because of my blood type. I've heard something about A positive blood type. What's yours?
Right. We never went to the doctor growing up, so I don't know that shit.
Yeah. It was very odd, dude. Like 2 days after, or the day after that, I woke up as if I was just shit-faced drunk.
Really?
And I had 2 drinks the night before. That was it. Maybe 3.
Right.
But certainly not enough to have that feeling. And I woke up like 8 o'clock to take the dog out. And I was thinking to myself, there's no way I could drive if I had to right now. And I had no reason why that was. The next day, I couldn't even like move around.
Wow.
I never had like, oh, I'm sick, like pain, that kind of shit. But it was just all fucking weird, man. And I had like crazy hallucinogenic dreams that I normally don't have.
Right.
And it just dragged on, dude. And then tired again. And I think it lasted up until Wednesday. So it was like almost a full week. And so now I'm like, oh, it's going to be great when I get the fucking second dose.
I'm like really fucking tired. I've taken 3 naps since yesterday. Deep naps.
When did you get it? Yesterday?
Yesterday morning.
Dude, there's plenty of people that nothing happened to them. But I mean, both my parents got the same vaccine. And they didn't have any issue at all.
Right.
They're in their 70s, you know. So
I'm glad I got it. And then
the
spin is that I cut the line, man. You cut the line.
Oh well, that's what celebrities can do, you know.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Shit. How did you get the shot?
Well, they lowered it to 50 plus, I believe, today. So So I think that's why they allowed me to do it. But there's people out there, you know, they're going to try to hate on you no matter what. And at my daughter's school, one of her friend's moms said, are you vaccinated? I'm like, I'm not vaccinated. It's not my turn, you know. She goes, here's a link. The Javits Center has a lot of extra shots, but they can't just open it up to everybody and then they wouldn't have enough shots. You know what I mean? So they have more than what they're using on a daily basis. So I clicked the link. I answered all the questions and I said no to everything. You need one yes. I didn't want to cheat in that way. I could have said I was a bartender or whatever the hell. I could have said anything. And she even said they don't even check. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to say no to everything and see what happens. And I said no to everything and I sent it in. Next thing you know, they're like, you got an appointment for Monday at 8:15. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, shit, might as well,
dude. Pretty much said it's because there definitely are extra doses that they want to get in people's arms. So, but I was stupid enough to say I have allergies. And there's a very rare side effect if you have allergies, I guess. So I had to go talk to a medical professional to make sure that what I was allergic to was not in the shot.
I know.
And the scary part is they're saying if anything's going to happen, it'll be 15 minutes after you take the shot. So there's a giant clock at the Javits Center. I'm in a room where you have to wait on your own. There's no one checking on you. You just wait on your own.
Oh, okay.
Giant clock. You have to time out your own 15 minutes. It's as large as a football field with the chairs all spread out about 8 to 10 feet apart, right? So it's just a sea of humanity. And everyone's just staring at the clock. Hoping 15 minutes go by without anything happening.
There was at the CVS, there was a girl who was working there, and they had the chairs lined up. And again, it wasn't even like packed with people. It was me and one other girl who were getting the shots at the same time. And then she says, "Okay, Mr. Jones, just sit here for 15 minutes." And she's clocking it, so I'm just on my phone. And she goes, "All right, Mr. Jones, you can leave." I think it's like if you have like an instant, anaphylactic reaction to it. Exactly. I think that's what they're looking for. Yeah. But it's weird.
Well, I got to jump in again because Rachel's up there in Minnesota. I said this on the morning live stream. So I got excited that I could talk about my allergies with somebody. So I'm like, I'm allergic to trees and grass and cats and dogs. And when I eat apples, I get explosive diarrhea. And she's like,
Jesus
all right. None of that is in this shot. She did not want to hear about my explosive diarrhea when I eat apples.
Yeah. Not looking for all that info.
But it made me really, really fucking tired. I'll be honest with you. But I'm so happy that I have it. And I had an army man watch my scooter there, Judge Jones.
I watched your scooter out front?
Yeah, I came in with an electric scooter. They're like,
yeah.
They're looking around like no one is bringing in bikes or electric scooters. I'm like, well, could someone watch my electric scooter while I get vaccinated? And then they point to this guy in this roped off area with a couple wheelchairs. So it was a couple wheelchairs and my electric scooter. And I thanked the army man. I go, oh, so that army man will watch my scooter? These guys want to see real action, and instead they watch my electric scooter while I get vaccinated.
Next to the wheelchairs and other children's tricycles. Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Mike Bichetti.
Hey guys, hey Judd, how are you? Hey,
good, Mike.
I was just listening to you guys talk.
Yeah.
I'm not a victim of this goddamn shot.
You are a victim?
I got it on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like 10 or 15 minutes later, I was like in an opium-induced coma. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. But then I was like, wait a minute, this isn't a good coma. You know what I mean?
So 15 minutes after, so you were one of the ones who got it. Like,
I was like,
problem right there. Oh my God.
You really had something happen after you took the shot?
Yeah, no, I was like adamant, like in the car. I was like high, like the 80s, like a coma, like that.
Oh, all right. But I thought
I loved it for the first 20 minutes, but then
right.
Then I went home. I felt good, but the next night I felt exhausted, like I was a 97-year-old man. Right?
Yep.
I slept, and then yesterday it's like I wanted to choke the dick off the idiot to fucking put it in my arm.
Regretting your decision?
Yeah. Well, no, my family, because my family got it. And we all went at once. And one good thing was I went to a candy store down the street. It's pretty nice size. Like when I smoked pot, that made me feel good.
So you went to go get munchies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, now
Mike was having flashbacks to the 80s.
Yeah. But now you can get a Krispy Kreme donut or something, right? If you're vaccinated.
Unfortunately, we don't have Krispy Kremes by me. Those idiots at Dunkin' Donuts put a kibosh on them.
Yeah. How about that irony? Like the vast majority of people that died from COVID, they were obese.
Right.
And now Krispy Kreme's like, hey, get that vaccine. You get a free donut a day.
I know, but I'll tell you the truth, guys. I liked Dunkin' years ago because they used to bake fresh all the time. Now they don't. They're horrible.
Just sitting there on the shelf.
But Krispy Kreme, I think, was a better donut. I think they were much better. I liked them better for some reason. I don't know why.
I like the Krispy Kreme.
Carl has loved the Krispy Kreme over the D&D, so you're a good company. Mike, I thought you would have got the vaccination a long time ago, man. I feel like with your physical condition, you would have been like the first 10 people to get it.
No, I've been so paranoid not coming out of the house. I think I may be partial agoraphobic now.
Oh, yeah, right. Pandemic's going to be over. Mike's going to be in the house still.
Oh, I love it. Guys, well, Opie, you saying he has allergies? I'm allergic to people. I hate most of them.
Yes.
I can relate.
I'm with you on that one.
I can relate. Yeah.
Why do you think I got the ocean behind me, man? It doesn't talk back.
Oh, no.
You know?
Nice.
What was that?
No, my family. I was fighting with them upstairs a little bit. Sorry, but
why are you fighting with your family, man?
No, they yelled, "Shut up, you fathead!" And I'm the only one in the house, so it happened to be they were talking to me.
Like, shut up, asshole!
Yeah.
Fuck you!
It had to be me because I was the only one they were talking to. I'm the only one home field.
Right
on. Me.
Judd, everyone wants to know what you're vaping on.
Jimmy Buffett's Coral Reefer.
What the hell is that?
It's Florida medical marijuana. I've got bursitis.
Well, can heart patients get medical marijuana?
I think if you're in a state, anybody can. I mean, it's probably more lax than going to get the vaccine at this point.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, it's kind of absurd, especially somewhere like Florida that's, generally conservative. Well, it depends on where you are.
Yeah.
But marijuana is not legal. Like, it's not decriminalized, but anybody can get the thing. You just got to go. You got to go to the marijuana doctor, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, you've got this or that," and then you go over to the place, and there you go. I mean, it's that simple.
Is it better than the pot years ago? Years ago, you had some wild stuff, but now I heard it's a lot better. I've been smoking many years.
Dude, I tell you what, you can get at the medical place. If you look at it close enough, it's got a heartbeat. Like, shit. I mean, it's like real deal. I mean, it's Will I be like this, looking at my palm for an hour and a half? Oh yeah, you'll be staring at it. Yeah, it'll be like you got the vaccine again.
Yeah,
it's so stupid that it's not legalized across America at this point, because there's so many workarounds, even for the places that it's not legal. Just enough already.
There is.
Figure out how you're going to make your money from it, and let's go. Let's get it done.
And potheads aren't violent or nasty like drunks are.
No, that's the old argument. I agree. I think there's way more issues with alcohol than pot.
Jack Daniels is way more lethal than pot is.
Bite your tongue, Mike Bichetti.
I love Jack, actually, right?
No, don't even say it. But no, New York's going to legalize it. They need the money.
Yeah, no kidding, they will. That's the funny part, man. You're so on point, because it's not about morals. It's about how much money a city or a town or a state needs. And then they're like, well, I know how we can get ourselves out of the hole. Let's legalize the marijuana.
It's always been about the money with everything. It really is.
That's always drove me nuts about politics and everything else. It's not about the morals. Get the hell out.
No, because even like all the wars we had in this country, right? The only one I really believed in was World War II, because they were trying to destroy the Nazis and the Japanese, right? The rest of them were all rich man's wars being sent by poor people to be fucking massacred by. You know what I mean? Because the American Revolution, when you think about it, our founding fathers were bazillionaire. George Washington was one of the most richest presidents ever, if not the richest one, right?
Yeah.
All they cared about was they didn't want to pay the king any more money. That's what it's based on, really.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody else was like, bullshit. They were wealthy business people who wanted to make more money and didn't care about anybody but themselves.
Yeah. But World War II was different. I like the Japanese there, Mikey. And I like them, but too.
I like them, but their leadership was psycho.
That's true. I've got an idea for a new sketch. Is Mike Bichetti teaching history to junior high kids?
Oh, nice.
Mike knows his shit.
He knows.
I want you to come with me, Judd. One of the first ones we do, I'll jump off the balcony at Ford's Theater as John Wilkes Booth.
You ain't jumping anywhere. You can't even jump.
Don't do it, Mike. Don't do it. Don't jump off the curb. Yeah.
But Judd, I'll jump off the same balcony booth into a class of fifth graders. Yell 6 separate Tyrannus.
Too funny, man.
And then when they come to arrest me, I'll go, "Unhand me, you fiends! Don't you know who I am? I'm a great man."
Right.
In ancient Rome, Egypt, they were doing open heart surgery a couple of thousand years ago.
Really?
I don't know how much they got right and wrong, but I'm sure there was some success.
I would say they got most of it wrong.
I think that's called organ harvesting. I think that's what that is.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, but the thing is, but when you think about like the Romans had huge banquets and meals.
Yeah.
I don't know how good that food tastes. They have no refrigeration when you think about it.
Good point. Very good point.
A lot of comments coming in. Bill James wants to know off the YouTube, how high is Judge Jones right now?
2 out of 10. 2 out of 10.
Well, 2's not bad though.
No. Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Oh, not bad at all.
No,
and let's be honest. It's the legal shit with Judge Jones. He's allowed to do this. He's got what do you got again?
Oh yeah, anything.
You got anything?
Yeah, just name it. That's right.
Pick something off the doctor's list.
Yeah, right.
Even in Florida, what do you think of the spring breakers down there in Miami? That's a big fucking story there, Judge Jones.
Well, it seems to be well. Look, first of all, people who've been gathering have been doing that in Florida since the summer.
Right.
And again, like when you compare Florida to other states that were locked down, Florida has done no worse than California. It's done no worse than New York. And it's been wide open. But the reason that they put this state of emergency and all that, dude, there's some violent shit going on when the sun goes down. Like, that's the problem. I mean, it's not the, people doing shots and girls whipping out their titties for pictures. I mean, it's like there's some like bad shit going on at night because there's overwhelmed with the amount of people, you know? So that's almost like a separate discussion from the COVID thing because I mean, it's just odd, man. Again, Florida is such the butt of all the jokes, right?
Yeah.
Like, but it's like if you by any metrics you look at, Florida has done it right. And I if they didn't do it right, I'd tell you they didn't do it right. But I mean, looking at it, it's like, well, nobody was like locked down, and they did no worse than any state that was locked down. And Florida's got like the second oldest population next to, I think, fucking New Hampshire or Vermont.
Yeah.
And then but had like such fewer deaths even for old people compared to like California.
Yeah.
Know?
You know that old Bugs Bunny cartoon where he's sawing off Florida?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
Mike, you know that. You know your cartoons.
Right. I love Bud. He went ape.
Yeah, but I said on Twitter, Bugs Bunny had the right idea all those years ago. We got to just cut Florida off and let it float out into the ocean.
Florida might want to be cut off before too long. The hell with everything else that's going on. Yeah.
I thought when those guys invaded the White House, I was like, I thought we were gonna have a Confederate flag hanging there for a few weeks. I was like, yes.
Well, there was one there for a little while. Oddly enough,
short time, right?
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, man.
People should just be cool and just try to get along. If that's even possible. I don't know if it is.
People were never cool. I think because of social media, we realized, oh, right, everyone's an asshole.
No. See, now I would go against that. What you just said.
Really?
I think it's whether it's 10 years ago, 20 years ago, or now. You travel around the country. The vast majority of people from all backgrounds live and work in harmony amongst each other.
Right.
Now, because of social media. The story, you might not have known of something that happened in Nevada, where it was some hate crime, something or other. And now you see it on national news coast to coast. So they keep pumping it. And it makes us think, oh, this is the narrative of the country. And that's what, I mean, that kind of shit drives me crazy. Like people say that it's like, it's all, whatever the term they use, but like almost going to be a race war in this country. Not even fucking close. You want to talk about numbers and regular people who are living their lives? They're looking at the stuff on the news almost like it's, entertainment's not the right word, but like it's not even real because it's not their normal lives.
Most people in harmony is right. I mean,
Right. But in saying that, it is good that social media blows up, a racist this and that or something like that. So to put a microscope on it, that is a benefit. But the way that it seems to be like the way people kind of accept it is, oh, well, this is just America now. And I just call bullshit on that.
No, it's not.
I just call bullshit on it.
A small part of wherever it happened. You're right.
Yeah.
Because that's why I always love comedy and stand-up because, you know what? We always had all kinds of people, races, genders, religion, whatever, right? And most comics show, even though there's some hostility here with old people, right? basically the whole community got along with each other, and it wasn't, the rest of the world should get along like that.
The vast majority of people get along with each other, no matter who you are.
Judd, I gotta agree with you. I think because I read a book many years ago called "The Culture of Fear," and the media is to blame for that horse shit. They scare the crap out of all of us about one little incident makes it feel like this is what's happening across America.
Right.
In the Culture of Fear, they broke down how many kids were actually poisoned by Halloween candy.
Yeah, razor
that was a big
blades
thing
or
growing
whatever.
up. It's like everyone had to check their candy, and your parents would eat the good stuff, going, "Oh, I'm just making sure there's no poison."
This is poisonous.
They, in the book Culture of Fear, they did a research study on that whole thing, and the amount of kids that were actually poisoned by Halloween candy was so minimal. And it turns out pretty much all the cases were inside jobs by family members.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That whole thing when we were growing up was complete bullshit that was spun out of control by, the media. Right. And they continue to do it to this day.
The media always liked evil because it sells more papers and people pay attention because it's horrible.
Right. Even like 20 years ago. And now the term is clickbait.
Right.
Like just show me something to click on that looks like some horrible shit that's happening around the country or whatever. And it's like, okay, some asshole did some bullshit here. It's not a pervasive thing coast to coast,
Right.
Even when this COVID's over, I guarantee the media is going to be jumping on something, excited about something else that's horrible.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, where most of this terrible shit happens is Democrat-run states.
Are you calling me a libtard?
God damn it. Shit, man. Yeah.
Are you calling me a dumb snowflake, you son of a bitch?
All right.
Oh, my God. Why can't we got to figure out one thing that the right and the left agree on. What is that one thing, would you say?
I don't even know how you can answer that now because, again, going back to like during 4 years of Trump, that created, for whatever reason, and I can't subscribe to it's just him because that means if every bad thing that's happened in 4 years up to now is because of Trump, that's your own individual fault for thinking one person makes that big of a difference.
Of course.
100%.
Like an earthquake happens, they would blame it on him.
Right. But the divide that has been perpetuated in social media and all of that, it's almost like it's gone over to politicians now, and they will never, like, can you imagine literally 5 Republicans going over to the Democrats and saying, hey, we agree on this legislation, we're going to pass it.
Yeah.
Like, that would be so foreign. Well, fuck. Not less than 10 years ago, 6 years ago, that was a normal thing.
I know.
Right.
But now it's like, oh, we can't do that. And they talk about filibuster. If you're doing legitimate shit, and like you're saying, Republicans and Democrats can agree on something, the filibuster wouldn't even be a variable. Like to come up with things that we can do collectively to benefit the country.
Sarah from Buffalo says that maybe the right and the left could agree on the fact that we all hate the Kardashians. That's a good place to start.
That's
and then someone said the only thing that will get the right and the left together is to get Opie and Anthony back together.
That's right.
I think we'll have a revolution then. We need it because
that would cure the country of its ills.
Mike, more importantly, why do you have so much headroom in your video? And it looks like you got like a nice flat top hairdo, man. I think that might be my next haircut right there.
I like having short hair because it's easy to keep. You know what I mean? It's easier. And the thing is, you don't have to just wake up with it. Like, boom, it's done.
See, Mike's got a good look, man. The horn rim glasses, the high tie.
You know what I look like now, Judd? I feel like
you look like an insurrectionist.
Oh, good. I feel no, that's partially.
Coming from me, right?
I look like Floyd the Barber from the Andy Griffith Show. All right. Yeah. Or Harvey Keitel in The Irishman.
It looks like you should be on the top of a clock tower there, Mike Bichette.
Yeah. No, but I definitely look like I'm from the late 50s or early 60s for sure, right?
I shouldn't talk. I don't know what the fuck this is. So my next move, I'm shaving it all. I'm hoping there's enough on top so I could have like a fucking mohawk. I'm going mohawk.
Sure, why not?
Speaking of mohawk, guys, I watched one of my favorite movies the other time, again, for the 80th time.
Taxi Driver.
Dances with Wolves.
Oh, okay.
Dancing with Wolves is one of your favorite movies?
Yeah.
Why?
First of all, because For decades, Native American people were misrepresented in TV and film and real life because, first of all, I loved that they were speaking their language throughout most of it, and it showed them as people, not as savage. It showed them how people they were. And I kind of liked when they killed all those white prick soldiers at the end of it. I was like, yes.
I gotta agree with Mike on this. I gotta agree with Mike. Yeah,
but I'm laughing at Bill James. He just writes off the YouTube. That movie stinks.
Well, I don't agree, man. I don't agree. No, I'm with Mike on that.
He probably likes, dude, where's my car?
That's not a bad one. Not a bad one.
I think they made Costner an honorary member.
Oh, really? That. You're a fan of all the genders, right there, Mikey?
As long as people are cool with people, I don't care what they do.
There you go. That's how we should all be, right?
And that's how most people are. Again, that's what I'm saying, man. Nobody gives a shit about this or that or whatever.
No, as long as
are you an okay person that's going to be nice if we cross paths?
Of course.
That's all anybody cares about.
As long as you're not hurting yourself or other people, who cares? Everything goes after that.
I think you're correct, man. I think it's the media and our political system that is trying to get us to go to war with each other. Right?
Morons.
Absolutely. You want lines in the sand.
I'll carry two 9mm Glocks strapped to my side.
Yeah. You mean pretty much what you normally do. That's what you're telling me? Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah.
I think it's too bad that all the JFK movies have been made because Mike Bichetti would be perfect for some kind of part in a JFK movie with that look.
Yeah.
Joe Pesci was in the JFK, right?
Huh?
Joe Pesci was in the JFK movie.
And that Kevin Costner, too, right?
Costner, right? A whole bunch of people.
Joe Pesci, I don't remember that.
What part would you play in a JFK movie, Mike, with that look?
I'd love to be Jimmy Hoffa hating on the Kennedys.
I don't want Jimmy Hoffa to him.
Jimmy Hoffa, you got the personality for it, Mike, for sure.
Yeah, I think that would work.
I don't, but did you guys ever see the movie Chappaquiddick? That was horrible.
I never saw the movie, but obviously know the story. Yeah.
No, it was pretty brutal, and it showed what a dickbag Joe Kennedy was in the movie. I'm like, whoa, a small part of it.
How about how much of a dickbag Ted Kennedy was? He went home and took a nap.
Yeah,
right. I know.
Went to the authorities.
But you know what happened? He called his father up on the phone. Now his father just had a stroke, part of a stroke.
Yeah.
And he was on the phone with him and he goes, alibi. That's the word he put. I'm like, what?
Oh, gotta have an alibi. Whoa. Get out of there.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Man.
Right.
That's why he went home and took a nap with the seaweed still in his hair.
Probably. They had a bit, I can't blame them for what they turned out to be because they started with a bad foundation. I mean, their father was like a bootlegger with Al Capone years ago, you know what I mean? And that's how they made a lot of their money. And, you know what? You can't help what you're born into. You know what I mean? You can't blame his kids for his sins.
Mike, you're off camera. All right, there you go. All right.
Sorry.
Weebles wobble.
I wobble pretty much.
Mike, you were like this. You were talking, making a great point, and then it was like this.
Yeah.
And then it was,
I thought we were going to fade out to commercial.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right on.
See, that's the thing. I love doing this with you guys because you guys get me, right?
Goddamn right, Mike.
Most people think I have the mentality of a light bulb. You know what I mean?
Mike, where are you at with the guns in America? We got another mass shooting that happened, right?
Just take all the cycle guns away from, you know what I mean? Because there's no reason.
Oh, boy, here we go.
No, it's true. Because the thing is, why does a normal civilian need a 400-round machine gun that can, wipe out half the free world in his house?
I don't disagree with that.
Wouldn't it be good if a shooter happened, if everybody's packed, and they'd be able to open up on that idiot without killing other people?
Good point.
That's where I'm at with guns. This is my controversial statement today, but I absolutely believe there's a gun problem in America. But I also believe, second part of my statement, we'll never solve it. There's no fucking way we'll ever solve it. So we might as well just get more and more guns.
You know why? Because even if you make all these regulations and rules, there are still people with gun shows across the country that'll sell people anything as long as they have the cash.
Well, see, and this is the thing where, I was talking to my dad the other day, and I mean, look, we had had a dedicated room to guns when I grew up. And but in Florida and in Colorado, oddly enough, you have to have a background check at a gun show, right? What they talk about with a federal background investigation is making it a federal law. Florida, ironically enough, and Colorado have made it a law that you can't just. It used to be you could just go, okay, Mike, you're selling a gun at a gun show, and you're a Florida citizen, and I'm a Florida citizen. Hey, I want to buy this or that gun, and they just cash money and walk out the door. Now, in Florida and in Colorado, you have to run it through the FBI criminal database to do a background check on it. Which I don't disagree with. This is where my dad and I disagreed on it, because that's how I have to buy a gun, because I'm not breaking laws. I'm not a felon. I'm not that. If I want to go to a gun store, they have to run a background check on me.
Yeah.
Right. Now, even though I've got a concealed carry permit in Florida, if I go to buy a gun, they still run the background check on me. Right. I don't have to wait 3 to 5 days to take the gun. I just have to wait for the background check to go through. So that's where the benefit of having a concealed carry is that I don't have to wait for 3 days, but I do have to have the background check done. That's the part that I don't disagree with, that Biden saying now, and that every Democrat has said for a long time, is doing the universal background check, making it a federal law that each state has to do that. I don't disagree with that part. But then when he says banning assault weapons, well, tell me what the definition of assault weapon is. There's so much ambiguity there that's just like opening the door to where, we don't like this type of gun. We don't like that type of gun.
No, you're right.
And then it gets weird.
I think
there should be background checks no matter where. I mean, it might as well.
Yeah, but I'm sure there are still some states that are super liberal with guns that you can buy at gun show, like maybe West Virginia. It depends where you go. I'm sure there are still some states where you can just go there and buy them. They don't give a crap.
No, that is the case. But ironically, what the federal government wants to do now, essentially Florida and Colorado already have that in place as far as the background check goes.
Well, the evil people are not going to obey gun laws.
Of course not. They'll get them more.
Second of all, the gun issue in America, it's like when you go to one of those stupid family picnics and you have to do that dumb tug of war, and that red ribbon is hanging, and then it moves a little over here, and then it moves a little back. That's arguing the gun issue in America. No one is going to be able to pull the other side all the way across the line.
It's like family pictures are annoying. It's like, look, I just want to eat cheeseburgers all day. No three-legged sack races.
Three-legged sack races? I just was worried about the stupid yellow jackets on the lid of my goddamn soda can.
Oh, right.
That's all I cared about at those dumb picnics.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I don't even like talking about the issue because you just know nothing's going to change.
Well, but that's you talk about Republicans and Democrats coming to an agreement on something. I wish they would come to an agreement on the background check thing federally,
right?
More so than the assault weapons ban, because like the AR-15, that is a popular gun for these things that happen. But if you look in the last 20 years from mass shootings, it's not all of it, and almost, if not half, if not more, are handguns.
Right.
So it's like, well, what do if you're going to say, oh, you can't have this type of gun, that's where the gun nuts get crazy, because then they're like, well, that's just going to open the door. Then you're going to tell me I can't have that and have that. But if they would just agree on the background check, and people who I know who are gun owners, they don't agree with that. They don't want the government infringing upon that. Well, yeah, but you can find out if somebody's a felon. And so you want to know these types of things so you can't sell the gun to that person.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all nonsense in the end. Nothing will change. I got to say hi to Brian Bernard. He just gave us $9.99, $3.33 per person.
No. Well, Mike, things are looking up, huh?
Well, we're getting up there, Joe. I'm going to buy myself a sandwich. Half a sandwich.
Hey, Mikey, how's your mom doing?
She's as feisty as ever. She was yelling at me just now, going, I'm trying to say prayers upstairs and you're screaming at you. You just said to me.
She's trying to say prayers?
You're interrupting her prayer time?
Yeah, because she told me, it's so crazy. She'll scream her butt off. You're interrupting my prayers, you moron.
Well, doesn't that go against the whole God thing?
Not really. The horror doesn't,
No, really? Is your brother still living in the house? How many siblings you still got in that house?
It's me and my sister and my brother. But you know what, though? John, I may be taking a trip. Guys, I may be taking a trip to visit my family in June. They live in Missouri. I've never been to Missouri.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
And they live in Arkansas as well. I like the South. I never been to Missouri though.
Boy, I'd like to see Mike Bichetti go into the Midwest as a web series. There's another web series right there.
I'll tell you my favorite place. I like North Carolina.
Okay, yeah.
New Orleans. I love Texas. I love the South a lot. I never been like to Maine or anywhere up there. People down south are very cool because you know what? They'll tell you how they feel, but they're not idiots.
Well, what do you like about New Orleans? What do you like about Texas?
New Orleans was fun because people are just so nice and friendly there. Plus, I love gumbo. Their food is terrific. They got great jazz music. It's fun.
Right.
And what I like about Texas is they have smoking hot women like the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Mike loves the big, hard boobs, right, Mike?
That's number one. Number two, it's the prettiest part of the country. I love the land. I love the outdoors and the land. Right? Yeah. People there are cool. They got great barbecue food. People are honest, and they have balls and guts in that state. They fought the Alamo. That's why I love them.
Yep.
Freedom Fighter 29 on YouTube. Mike Bichetti, The Simple Life Part 2.
Yeah.
Well, you got the simple part, down.
Sure.
Well, maybe when you call, who knows what that idiot is? He's hiding behind a keyboard.
No, he's trying to be nice.
Oh, no, isn't that wasn't that Paris Hilton's show?
Yeah, with
so the new series is Mike Bichetti.
Tell him I'm sorry for being an idiot. I got to listen carefully.
Hey, Mike, you be Paris Hilton, and I'll be what's her name? The other one,
Nicole Richie.
We'll go around the country.
As long as we're not Bruce Jenner, I'll be good.
What's wrong with Bruce Jenner? Oh, you can't call him Bruce Jenner anymore, even though
what's his name? I don't even know what's
Bruce Jenner. You cannot call him Bruce Jenner.
I don't know what his name is. I don't know the name.
Well, who won the Olympic medals?
He got to say Caitlin.
Caitlin.
I think that's how it goes with transgender people. Now you got to say that Caitlyn Jenner won the decathlon gold medal in 1976.
Wow. Yeah, but I'm still pissed off about Mr. Potato Head by Caitlyn Jenner.
Well, you look like Mr. Potato Head right now.
Yeah, because they're coming after next.
Pissed off at Mr. Potato Head.
They're coming after Speedy Gonzalez next. I swear to God, they probably.
That's the next one. Oh.
What do you think of the Pepe Le Pew thing, guys?
He's a cartoon character.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. A few people on the internet give a shit. Nobody gives a again. Back to the coast thing. Nobody gives a shit.
True.
It's just nobody cares. Nobody cares.
I agree with you, man. Although Pepe Le Pew looks a lot like Governor Cuomo.
Well, this is true. How about we keep Pepe Le Pew and get rid of Cuomo? How about we do that?
I refer to him as Field Marshal Cuomo.
Field Marshal Cuomo, yeah.
I'll tell you what I like about the Cuomo thing. So his own party's trying to get rid of him, right?
Right.
He's like, I ain't going anywhere. And then I always say this. I'm like, if you just hang in there and basically say I ain't going anywhere, they don't know what else to do because they can't get out of office. Wait, this usually works when we all get together and say you got to go, and then the guy resigns, and he's like, I ain't resigning, and they don't know what to do with that.
Right.
They don't know. And I always said that with cancel culture. If you just hang in there long enough, they will move on to something else.
Well, there's always something else to get upset about.
Right. Because now it's going to take, I don't know what it'll take to get Cuomo out of office now that he's saying, I ain't going. He just said, I'm not going.
Even with this investigation that they're doing, I mean, unless they bring criminal charges and that just dominates everything, right? Even if they find something in an investigation, what are they going to do?
Right.
What are they going to do?
I tend to believe women, but I also love the fact that Cuomo's like, I'm not going.
Yeah, right.
And now what? And now they got to at least go through the proper channels and have an investigation. Most people never get to the investigation stage, right? It's always like this peer pressure. The mob comes after you, and the company that you work for gets scared shitless and gets rid of you without having a proper investigation. It never gets to this stage. That's why I absolutely love that Cuomo is hanging tight right now. Well, and he might be the biggest pig on earth. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Still America. You got to be proven guilty totally before you do anything to people.
Oh, stop. That went away a long time ago.
Well, that's the problem, man. But I wish people were fair about it on both sides, because it's like, somebody on one side does, allegedly does something terrible. People on the other side are, take it as scripture. But when it's flipped and it's one of your own tribe, you kind of
we got too many witch hunts going on for stuff.
Yeah.
Man, every day. I think cancel culture gets to a point where they cancel so much stuff that anyone that was canceled is going to be on the right side, meaning the place to be.
They're going to be the outlaws. Yeah.
Well, think about it. If you cancel everything around you, then that's where everyone's going to want to hang out.
Yeah. Well, the one that always just made me kind of like the Louis C.K. one just really made me roll my eyes.
I know.
Because, I mean, all right, so he's a jack-off artist, right? He likes to get his dick out. And if it's true what it says, he asks the women, hey, do you mind if I get my dick out and jack it while we're sitting right here?
Right.
But then when it goes to like, oh, well, he was a person of power and this and that, I don't know how much power he had at that point. He was still like doing clubs and shit, I think. I don't think he was like, Mr. Wheeler and dealer. But it's like, that's one thing. But then like rape is another thing. But if you talk to people about Louis C.K., they think, oh, he's the worst person in the world.
They think they think he's Punch's Pilot.
Right. Yeah. Right. Well, he's a jack-off artist.
I said something about him, and people got mad at me a while ago. If Louis C.K. looked like Brad Pitt, he would have got away with it.
It's probably true, Mike. It's probably true.
I think Louis is a bit of a creep.
Well, all right. He's again, like I said, he's a jack-off artist. But what is he doing?
Earlier, I mean, he did what he did. It was deemed unacceptable, right?
Right.
But he didn't break any laws or he didn't commit a crime.
No.
Yeah. So the guy should absolutely be able to come back and work. And then he started showing up in these clubs, and these people were saying they didn't feel safe. That's just not true.
Come on, it's like
who doesn't feel safe at that point?
They're not letting Charles Manson into the club. Come on, you know what I mean?
Well, it's funny because like if that happened, I think it was at the Comedy Cellar, but some other places where Louis would just show up. So then somebody would be like, "Oh, I wouldn't have been a part of this if I would have known he showed up." But what's funny is like 2 weeks later, he sells out 4 nights, 2 shows each night, advertised somewhere. So it's like, all right, everybody just calm down.
Well, I know.
Let me get this comment before it goes away, because the people are having a good old time. Tragic Road. Looks like Mike has a shrunken head the way he's positioned on his webcam.
Well, it don't matter but the thing is, one thing I know about
too much headroom.
I know about Louis is I had a good
He's at the kids' table.
Yeah.
I had a good professional relationship with Louis, right?
Oh yeah.
Over the years, I know him since 1995 or 94, right? He's put me in stuff. I've auditioned for him with things, right? He was never disrespectful to me. You know what I mean? Always, I didn't have I never phoned him to call him and say let's hang. I wasn't that close to him like that. But when he had stuff going on, he always called me for stuff, respected me. I don't know what kind of guy he was outside of the thing now.
Well, if you listen to his comedy, he's talking about jacking off. So obviously he likes to jack off.
Right.
But he wasn't like a nasty guy. He wasn't like obnoxious to me anyway.
Nah, Louis was always nice to me. I always knew he was, had a bit of a creepiness to him, but he was always nice, and I didn't think he was breaking any laws out there. Mike looks like he's sitting on a milk crate. And Bill Miranda says Beetlejuice Bichetti.
I was going to say Beetlejuice. God. Yeah, right.
Oh, God.
No, but when I saw Louis on the subway at 34th Street, and I was getting off, and he's walking towards me, and I just moved to New York not long ago doing comedy, and like Louis C.K.'s there, and he walked past me, and I said, "Hey man, how you doing?" And he goes, "Good." And I said, "I'm a comedian from Texas. I'm going over to the comic strip to do an audition right now." And he looks at me, he goes, "Oh, that sounds miserable," and kept walking. Just kept walking. I mean, not like a dickish way, but in a way like he just didn't want to hang out and talk, Yeah.
Hold on. Mike Volka looks like Beaker from the Muppets.
Well, guys, the thing is, I heard Beaker for a long time. I don't care about that one. I mean, but I got to get going soon because they're yelling up there too much. I think I'm going to get in a fight in a few minutes with them up there. I got to get up because they're giving me like some grief. I can hear it from downstairs.
Why are they giving you grief? They're all trying to pray up there?
Yeah, they give me a lot of grief and nonsense.
Can you put your mom on camera for a second? You know she loves me.
No, but I know she does, but she's like in the middle of like her 55th rosary, I think.
They're holding mass upstairs, and Mike's just trying to push his career forward. What a nightmare.
No, but guys, I got to get going. Can we do this again soon? I love this.
Mike, only if you do this, if you yell up the stairs, Ma, I got to do this now.
I can't because she's been screaming about me yelling down here. I got to be quiet because otherwise I'll be sleeping on the sidewalk by the end of the night. She'll take my ice cream money away a second time.
Right.
You're too old to be living with your mom and dealing with this crap.
I love it though because I know I'm a nitwit most of the time.
Like how he's kind of whispering a little low. He's talking a little lower. Yeah.
I don't want to.
Everyone upstairs is pissed off.
I don't want to have an 83-year-old lady punch my face.
That's right.
That would not be fun.
That's true.
Look, if you put her on camera, me and Judd could take care of things for you.
No, but you know what? She's not going to come on because she's very like ready to give me a good beat down. I think.
Right. She'd play the part and then beat Mike up, and we turned it off.
Oh yeah.
What is she actually yelling? What are some of the things she's yelling?
She's yelling, "Your voice is too loud. We're trying to pray here."
Your voice is too loud.
Oh yeah, she's like, "Shut it up, idiot!" That's rodeo.
Who the hell prays on a Tuesday at 4 p.m. in their living room?
They do all the time here because but the thing is, you know what? What do you call it? I just I believe in God and everything. I totally do. I don't want to burn in the pits of hell. I totally believe in him.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
But the thing is, I'm not going to say too much about it because I'm a little worried when I go upstairs.
He's a little worried.
Oh, Mike.
Mike's a little worried about going upstairs. Yeah.
That's why I think you should go upstairs live on camera.
No, because they feed me, and I'm going to need a food taster after this, I think.
Are you on a computer or our phone right now?
Oh, phone, because I can't really leave. I got to get going because you know what? I don't feel like battling all night. My voice is killing me to begin with.
All right, how about you at least walk upstairs with the phone? You don't even have to acknowledge that you're still on with us. I just want to see your mom.
You know what? She's really busy. She's not in a good mood today. I would normally every other day.
Mike's being so nice, but that's his way of saying, "Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not going to take this upstairs with my mom."
I'll never hear the end of it because you know what? She's not in a good mood. I'll never. You know what? Next time before we come on again, I'll tell her, and I'll make sure she comes in. She hams it up on camera next time.
All right, because she loves me. We had that wonderful conversation.
We had a great time here. We really did, Judd. I wish you would come. Judd, you're more than invited to come back with Opie as well. Come out here because we have a barbecue in the yard. We'll cook. You teach us really how to cook Texas style.
There you go.
He's got a very, very tiny yard, but it's very nice.
But barbecue, we got a tent, like a thing, like an outdoor tent, the barbecue.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? You'll teach us how to cook barbecue right. I love.
Well, you got a smoker out there. I can lead you in the right direction.
Absolutely.
All right.
Because I got to go. Let me know when we can do this again. All right. Because
all right.
I won't have my ass kicked in by the end of the night.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? They're going to gang up on me when I go upstairs. There's only one of me and 5 of them upstairs.
Yeah. Mike's got to go upstairs to put out the fires right now.
I'll tell you. Bye, guys. Good talking to you.
All right, great day, everyone.
Take it easy, boy.
That is hilarious.
And he's like whispering, like, "Look, I gotta go. She's gonna be so pissed off."
He lives in Staten Island with his mom and at least 2 of his siblings, and a Yip Yap dog. Although I think the dog died, I was too scared to ask.
Oh,
that dog will drive you nuts. It just barks the entire time.
Oh shit! Wow.
And then he has pretty much his original bedroom to this day.
Really?
Yeah. And they all live together in this house, and there's a lot of religious stuff around the house. A lot.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, Bichetti, I'm assuming they're Catholic, right?
They have to be.
I mean, but like praying in the middle of the day.
Right.
I was gonna say, what is she, Muslim? But that might have offended him. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Well, they pray multiple times a day. I don't know many Catholics that praying throughout the day. I don't know. Maybe that's
yeah. She's a trip though, for real. Benjamin Tucker just gave me $10 and said, "Give Judd his money."
Fuck yes, Benjamin. That's what I'm saying. Look, he's the helicopter pilot, right?
Yeah, he is.
Dude, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we are.
Well, look, I mean, he was saying that what was when Bill Burr was talking about flying a helicopter. Benjamin was like, "What is he even talking about? Like he's off on things." Okay, well that means I want to fly with Benjamin.
Of course.
Like, he sounds like he knows what he's doing. Yeah.
Of course.
Let's get that set up.
Where is Benjamin? Benjamin, you got to give a plug for your company because you're going to be back in business soon. He flies people all the way out to the Hamptons.
Right.
And I think we need to do that, Judd Jones. We'll get on a helicopter with Benjamin Tucker in Manhattan.
I think that's a great idea.
And we'll do a little fishing.
Yeah.
And we don't pay a dime for that trip.
Man, that would be cool. That would be nice.
That'd be awesome.
Sure, that's the way to do it, man. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm on board.
All right. Well, what else you got going on? I'm just fucking for real tired, man.
Dude, and I'm curious what it is the next few days if you're going to continue that. You probably talked about this on your morning live stream. I didn't hear many of them recently because I've been fucking out of it. But generally, what are your in a quick pass? What are your thoughts about being back in the city? Yeah.
I realized that I haven't even start to mourn over our pal Vic Henley because I was in there for about I think almost 10 days because we were only gonna do like 4 days and then I got that appointment for the vaccine shot, so we stayed until yesterday. Yeah. So I guess we were there 8 days, and I can't tell you how many times I reached for my phone, like, oh, maybe Vic will go to one of our spots and have a margarita with me. And then it turns out the place we used to go for margaritas is gone. He's gone. Gephart's is gone. And I started realizing, like, first of all, my first observation, like, that city has nothing for me, bro. Yeah. The reason I moved to New York City is all gone. I moved for a huge radio job. I was living on Long Island. I was commuting in every day. The commute was killing me. So I finally said, fuck it, and got a place in New York. Never really liked living in New York, but the convenience of it was awesome. Made the best of it. Had a incredible radio career, and then it's all kind of gone away, man. So I don't know what's next for me in New York City, but obviously it's not about me. You know, my family was there for me, so now I'm there for them, I guess.
Yeah.
But with that said, the people are all wearing masks. That's another thing. You know how we've been arguing about masks for the last year? Mm-hmm. Oh shit! And I don't know if you've noticed, but I can't say masks.
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 How many people are wearing masks?
Yeah, I go. So everyone's wearing their masks.
Just leave it singular.
Right.
Yeah.
For some reason, I can't put the S on the end of masks.
Dude,
I'm punch drunk tired, but let me make my point. So for the last year, we've been yelling and screaming, you know, you're selfish if you're not wearing a mask and whatever. The fact is, just like you said earlier, I really like that you said that earlier, we are wearing our masks.
Yeah, right.
We're all wearing them. We're just like to argue about it, but it was so rare to see a person without one in New York City, and we're late in the game now, right? So you would think at this point, less people would be wearing their masks. But the fact is they are, but they're done with the coronavirus. I mean, we were there. The weather was beautiful. People were everywhere on top of each other, eating outside on the sidewalk, and the parks were packed. The dog park was packed. Central Park was packed. People are just done and over this thing.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. Like the numbers that are happening in New York right now are not dissimilar from the numbers that initiated the shutdown.
Right.
So it's like, well, are they just going to open everything up? Which I think they should. But are they going to open everything up and just be like, yeah, we were wrong. We shouldn't have shut down the entire city for this long. Right. Even though there's 40,000 new cases a day or something. Well, we'll just open it up.
I think we had to shut everything down because we were talking about that in our house. A year ago, we just didn't know shit about this thing, man. It was scary.
I think it made
And then we got more and more knowledge, and the knowledge came back that it wasn't as bad as initially we first thought, although still brutal. I mean, any new disease that kills over 550,000 Americans, that's something you got to take seriously, right?
Sure. It makes sense that New York shuts down. I mean, subways, people on top of each other. I get that, but these, like even California, the states that did, where you've got a little bit more room to maneuver. I'm shocked that they stayed shut down for so long.
I mean, in retrospect, it seems like maybe we didn't have to shut things down as much, but we just didn't have all the knowledge yet or the info that we needed. So I don't know.
What you're talking about with Vic, that's the thing that's going to really suck for me, because we have not been back to that apartment since we left. It's been almost a calendar year that we left New York. I
gotta say, for the reference point, you were Vic's neighbor, just
next door, literally next door neighbor.
Next door, hung out almost every day with each other because you were right there.
So it right when he passed away last year, I mean, that was really heavy for me for quite a while. But in a weird way, like a distance thing, it hit me hard at the beginning, but then it kind of like subsided. I mean, it's not like I think about him all the time. But being back at that apartment, like you're talking about, something came up and you're like, oh, I want to text Vic Henley. Same shit. I could yell at him in the backyard from over the fence.
Yeah.
So that's going to be just a mind blower, getting back there, and he's gone.
He was New York to me, man. Right?
Yeah.
Like, he really loved that city, and he was a walker, and I would call him up. He goes, I'll be there in a half hour, and he would take his walk across the park.
Yeah,
we had a little Mexican place on Columbus Avenue. We'd go and have margaritas and laugh our asses off. And then me being a radio guy, I always was like, fuck, why am I not recording this? Because it was just gold. It was just throwaway gold by the guy, telling one great story after another. His music knowledge second to none.
Absolutely. His
stories from the past were just I don't think he gets the credit for the type of how good of a storyteller he was.
Well, that's the thing that he told me, like, once he put stories into his stand-up, that elevated everything.
Right.
And I don't remember what the time frame was, but I remember he said that Ben Bailey and DC Benny had a storytelling show, and he I don't know how many years ago, it was like a weekly thing, and he said once I learned about storytelling and comedy from Ben Bailey and DC Benny, he goes, that changed a lot of it.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, and seeing him as many times as I've seen him do like a longer set and stand up, when you're that experienced and you've got that many jokes in your pocket or that many stories, that's why he was able to do crowd work so well.
Sure.
He could do 20 minutes of crowd work, if not longer, and it'd be really funny and really in the moment and all that. Well, if it didn't work, he's got something to go to.
Yeah.
He's got all these stories and all these years of doing comedy and being a guy from Alabama and New York for 20 something years and all that, I mean, but the storytelling aspect, that's what we really bonded on, because I've always tried to have some of that in my stand up, but no, he was definitely one of the best in doing that.
Well, the storytelling is my favorite part of comedy. A comedian that can tell a damn good story and the jokes are throughout the entire story. That's my favorite form of comedy.
Yeah.
Why I love guys like Jim Brewer. Vic Henley was great at it. And there's certainly others out there, obviously. I got to read this comment. This stuff drives me nuts. DJ70, no offense to you, my brother. You might be a supporter, you might not, but that's all right. I just want to read this. There was no different in the death rate last year than in the previous 5 to 6 years. The only difference is cancer, heart disease, and all other forms were down the same amount as COVID deaths. Why do you think deaths were down across the board in America? It's because we shut down. There was less risk. We're also keeping ourselves away from each other, so people weren't getting the flu and pneumonia as much as they did in past years. So all those numbers were down because we were playing it so damn safe. I guarantee if you look at how many people died on the roadways in America, that number was dramatically different, right?
Sure.
Because many less people were driving their cars in the past year. Yeah. That's why that you can't you can't look at that death rate in that way.
Yeah, well, the driving, that's a good example. But now more people are getting out. Gas prices are going up. God damn it, Biden!
What can we blame Biden for? Let's see, gas prices.
That's the funniest thing. Is like, blaming Biden. If Trump was in office right now, the gas prices would still be going up. And I'm not going to argue it with anybody. If you want to do a little bit of research, it's not just the Keystone Pipeline. It's not any of the things that Biden's done. It was set up to go that way. And demand is the main thing. There was a year of no demand. So things were adjusted, and now it's coming back. It doesn't matter who was going to be president. Gas prices were going to go up. Drill as many rigs in the Gulf of Mexico as possible.
Wow, you're that guy.
I mean, to get us away from relying on other countries for our oil and gas needs. Well, in 4 years with Trump, it definitely was getting to the point where it was practically independent, especially with natural gas and all that. I mean, it wasn't full independence, but that means you bring a little bit more to the table when you go up and say, hey, I don't need your shit, but I might buy it anyway.
Right.
And so that's going to pretty much dissipate.
Well, why don't we just go with the solar? The sun's right there.
Well, if the technology catches up, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's the same thing like with satellite radio. You go in a tunnel, you're not hearing satellite radio.
Right.
If the sun's not out, you're not storing the solar or the wind power.
But it's good enough if you go with a few cloudy days in a row.
If they can figure out a way to store it, then then I'm all for it. Look, the windmills in West Texas.
Yeah.
Sure. Have tons of them. Fuck the birds. I don't care.
Oh, man.
Put them all over the place. But there's no way to store it.
Have you ever seen those pictures online? The amount of birds that die in those windmill fields? They are everywhere.
Yeah. Bird fucks around.
Unbelievable. And I think I just learned something. You can't store solar power.
There's something about solar power and wind power. The technology to store it has not kept up with the technology to generate it. I think that's the whole thing. That's part of like what they're all talking about now.
But if you're using the wind, doesn't that I'm over here. Doesn't that rubber band go like this because of the wind, and then you don't have any wind anymore, and then all of a sudden it's like, look, you got all this power going backwards.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
isn't that how it works?
Maybe. Yeah. I'm all for the solar and wind power and all that, but you have to make it cost effective, and you have to have a way to store it. Like that's the whole thing. And no matter what you look at, the best bang for your buck is still oil and gas. So that's how it works.
The only thing I could say is that I'm so glad we did this earlier, so I don't have to be freaked out by the fact that the sun goes down here before.
It's true.
I'm happy about that at least.
Yes, that's right. The sun is still up in both places, so you can rest easy now.
I like that a lot.
Right. Yeah.
But, all right, Judd. I'm glad we did this, even though I'm really fucking tired.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear what the next couple of days, and maybe this is the only thing for you. Most people, it's just like a day or two. But I'm telling you, man, it caught me something fierce.
And we want to thank Mike Machete for joining the live stream. Right now, he's being yelled at by his 83-year-old mom.
By his mother in the kitchen. He may not get dinner.
No, he's sitting on some couch with plastic covering, getting yelled at because he was interrupting his 83-year-old mom's prayers on a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah,
he was scared.
Yeah, he's going to go outside in the backyard and scream into the sky for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I feel like a different person, even though I still got one more shot to go. But I have such a sense of relief.
Yeah.
So many people are like, why the hell would you get the vaccination? And I'm like, there's a Rolodex in my head of all the crazy shit I did. I'm like, this is a piece of cake considering some of the stuff I did in the past.
Yeah,
I tweeted about it today, and it's a true story. There was a time I was up all night doing illegal stuff with a Madonna wannabe all night long. She was obsessed with Madonna, dressed like Madonna. This was when I was in college. And it got so crazy and so bad that I started playing U2's The Joshua Tree. So this was around 1987 to date myself because the album just came out.
Is this the song? Was this what you played to seal the deal? Is that what we're doing here?
I think we played it to seal the deal to begin with, but then I played it over and over again to keep me awake because I was scared I was never going to see another sunrise in my life.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I was praying to just see the sun.
To see the sun come up.
And that story popped into my head today when that guy's like, why would you take a chance with a vaccination? First of all, it's well-researched and all that. I don't have to get into it. But I was thinking of that story. Like
shit I've done to my body.
Yeah, this is child's play considering what we used to do when we were young.
Right.
And stupid.
Right. So, I mean, there might be a microchip in there, but there's no live virus. So I was like, fuck it. I'll take it. Whatever.
Oh, my God. You can't even joke about the microchip. You know that. But I did tweet. I said, thank you to Bill Gates and the microchip thing. I got my shot today. And I said, now I don't need Google Maps anymore.
Oh, it just comes up in your head.
Oh,
right?
It's amazing.
Right,
it's
sure.
amazing.
Yeah, there's some incentive right there. Yeah.
Oh, you got to say that these are jokes, though. There are people out there very, very sensitive about this.
I don't think anybody's accusing us of being a serious podcast.
No, man, and I don't believe that in that microchip bullshit. So I could say that, right?
Well, says you.
Says me.
Who knows?
Who knows? All right.
That's right. All right, I'm going to go down to Miami for spring break. I'll catch up with you.
Oh, enjoy, my friend. Enjoy.
No, fuck that.
Joe Jones, everyone. Thank you.
Boo, 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 boo. Radio. Boo, 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 boo. Boom, 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 boom. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, boo,